Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Empowering Every User, Exploring Digital Accessibility with Saral X. I'm Julia Charlton, Chair of the Commonwealth Chamber, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all today. Today, we're honoured to have with us Saral X, an Indian startup spearheading efforts to dismantle barriers and empower organisations to embrace the principles of inclusive design. This ensures that their digital assets are accessible to individuals with disabilities, a population of around 600 million people worldwide, according to UN statistics. Additionally, according to the World Health Organization, around 80 million people in Africa also live with some form of disability. I'd like to draw your attention to the Commonwealth, a collective of 56 independent nations, which has recognized the significance of accessibility and has pledged to advocate for the rights and inclusion of people with disabilities through the Commonwealth Disability Discrimination Agenda. While accessibility laws and standards vary across the Commonwealth, many have either adopted or are in the process of adopting the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG, standards for web accessibility. The governments of the UK and Australia have incorporated WCAG as the accessibility benchmark for public sector websites and mobile applications. And similarly, the Indian government has issued guidelines mandating compliance with WCAG 2.0 standards for websites. In our recent seminar, we had the privilege of hosting Simon Samsam, the founder of the Snowball Community app out of the UK, and he shared valuable insights on how collaboration among Commonwealth countries can drive growth and promote accessibility initiatives. Additionally, we explored the transformative potential of inclusive design and its capacity to generate seamless user experiences for individuals with diverse abilities. Today, we're going to delve into the realm of digital accessibility, examining its significance, challenges, and the innovative solutions offered by Saral X. Leading our discussion today is Akashdeep Bansal, the visionary founder of Saral X. Akashdeep's personal journey and unwavering commitment to accessibility have been instrumental in shaping Saral X's mission. Diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, an eye disease leading to gradual vision loss, Akash pursued engineering and further completed his MTech and PhD from the prestigious IIT Delhi. His research focused on enhancing reading accessibility for the visually impaired, and he played a crucial role in establishing the Office of Accessible Education at IIT Delhi, dedicated to serving the needs of people with disabilities on campus. Akash's profound understanding of the challenges faced by individuals with disabilities has shaped the foundation of Saral X. His vision and innovative spirit have made Saral X a trailblazer in the realm of digital accessibility, empowering organizations to embrace inclusive design principles and ensure their digital assets are accessible to all. His commitment to breaking down barriers and fostering an inclusive digital environment is truly inspiring. So I'd now like to invite Akash to share his invaluable knowledge and expertise with us. Akash, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for the warm introduction, and it's my honor to be here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the digital accessibility and Seralex. So this is I just want to start with this question. There is a blind person who is working on a computer, and there is another person who does not have both the hands. That person is also working on the computer, and there's third person who is deaf and watching a video having the audio content. Like, can you think of how these things may be happening? And this is what we're going to be focusing on in this presentation. By the end of this presentation, you will learn how they are accessing and interacting with the digital world. So first start with accessibility. So accessibility refers to making a system usable by persons who has any special needs. It may be persons with disability, it may be person with elderly age, or maybe anyone. Like even they are not they does not have disability, but maybe they have some difficulty. And broadly, if we talk about the person with disability, they can be categorized into four categories. One may be having the issues related to the vision. Another one may be having relation to the hearing, third maybe locomotor, and the fourth maybe neural. So broadly, all the disabilities can be categorized into these four categories. And all of us sometimes face maybe situational disability or anything, like maybe like even if we just change the scenario and ask like, do you have disability, instead of asking that, if we ask, do you have difficulty in accessing the digital world, most of you will say yes. It may be sometime due to cluttered interfaces, maybe sometime due to small font, or maybe anything. Okay, so that's how the scope is wide, and has like large impact. So now, if I just briefly cover the disability, the stats around the disability. So around, it's well recognized that 15% of the global population is of persons with disability, and 80% of them lives in developing countries like India, Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Africa, and all. These all developing countries are cover, like 80% of persons with disability lives in all these countries, and they holds around 8 to 13 trillion dollar of disposable income. And if I also cover some of the socioeconomic facts related to these are more aligned with India, like the numbers. I'm just showing you the numbers from India, like what is the gap in the literacy rate, employment rate, and even and it is well recognized that due to the exclusion of persons with disability, any country loses 3 to 7% of its GDP. So if you see the literacy rate in general, it is 54, 54% in case of persons with disability, and even if drops to 45%. Unemployment rate is 63% amongst the persons with disability, whereas in general in India, unemployment stands at 15%. So now let's come and talk about what are the technology and tools used by persons with disability to access the digital world. If there is a person with blindness that may be using the screen reader. I myself is a person with blindness, and I'm using a software which is called a screen reader in general, and more specifically, it is called NVDA, Non-Visual Desktop Access, which read out whatever is written on my screen, so that I can understand what is on my screen. Similarly, there is Braille interfaces. I can they are refreshable Braille displays where the Braille dots get up and down based on the content, so you can touch and understand what the content is written on in the Braille. Similarly, for person with low vision, they may be using dark mode, magnifiers, or any large fonts and anything like that. Similarly, if we cover about person with hearing impairment, so they generally rely on either the captions or the sign language, so that they can understand what the conversation is going on. Like if there is any person with hearing impairment present right now in the audience, they will not be able to understand what we are speaking. They can only understand if a sign language interpreter is available or the captions are available during the webinar. If we talk about person with locomotor disability, the one graphic which you're seeing on the screen, that is talking about, that is basically depicting the scenario of the person who cannot operate the mouse due to the precise the user cannot control his movement precisely. In that case, they primarily rely on the keyboard navigation, and the user is pressing the tab key to go on the different elements which need to be operated. So this is how the person with locomotor disability access the digital world. And there are other devices like voice access and switch access. Voice access is primarily used by those who does not have the hands. So they rely on the voice commands. They say that, okay, click on proceed button, click on submit button. So this is how they give the voice command and the interface get operated. Similarly, in case of switch access, we have a combination of switches in which they operate just using one or two switches. They cannot operate the complete keyboard. They just rely on one or two switches to operate the complete interface. Now, you may be wondering, we have these different assistive tools and techniques. Now, what is hindering them from accessing the digital content, and why, as a developer or content creator, or maybe like as a leader, whatever your role is, why you need to be aware of the digital accessibility? So, digital accessibility is can be basically what it says is the person can access the digital content if it is designed in a way that it is compatible with assistive technologies. Okay. If it is not compatible with assistive technologies, then the person will not be able to access the digital content. And we will talk about some of these scenarios. I will give you some examples when it comes to an accessibility. Now I'm showing you another example of inaccessibility. I'm showing you a graphics in which there's a graph and you can see the two colored lines. One is showing the GDP pattern, another one is showing the population pattern. For you, it's a very nice graph, but now think of a person who cannot differentiate between the colors which are used for showing the lines of GDP and the population. Okay. Someone who cannot, I think the colors here used are the red and purple. So someone who cannot differentiate between these two colors, that person will not be able to understand which line is showing the GDP pattern and which line is showing the population pattern. Okay. So in that case, for that person, this graph has no meaning. Now, how you can solve this is if you use some kind of pattern in the line as well as along with the color. Instead of using the solid line for both the population as well as GDP, if you also use, like, for one you use the dashed line, for another one maybe use the solid line or the dotted line or any other pattern. Okay. In that case, even if the someone who cannot differentiate by just color, that person can even understand which line is showing what. Now, this is more specific to the keyboard navigation, primarily the problem faced by the locomotor disability. There are two kind of things you may see here. One is the focus is going very random. It's not going in the sequence, unlike the graphics which I showed you earlier, in which the focus was going in a sequential manner. So in that case, the user will be confused. Oh, I want to bring the focus to this particular element, but it is going very random, and I am not able to control it. Okay. Another way be if you just open your own website, which you may generally use, and start pressing the tab, you may sometime you may realize that you are not able to see where your focus right now. Like in this GIF, you are seeing a rectangular box which shows where the focus is. But if you cannot even see this rectangular box, the rectangular box is not clearly visible, then you will not be able to understand where your focus is right now. So now you may be wondering, like, there are different kind of assistive technology, there are different kind of techniques used by a person with disability. Are there any standard guidelines which one can follow? Even Julia talked about it in the introduction. So it's called Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. These are developed by World Wide Web Consortium. So it talks about all the, like, different scenarios which you need to take care of if you want to make your platform accessible to persons with disability. And it has around 78 success criteria, which if you meet all of them, then you can be relaxed and be confident that anyone can access your digital platform. And most of the government ask you to comply with double A. So it has three level of compliance. One is A, double A, and triple A. So most of the government says if you are compliant with double A, that's good enough for now. Triple A is when you want to make the user experience super. Okay, that is when you really want to go beyond the guidelines and you really want to make the platforms fully accessible. Uh, I will talk about principles of accessibility. So it says one thing, basically, there are four principles which WCAG talks about. It should be perceivable, operable, okay, understandable, and robust. Perceivable means I should be able to perceive and I should be able to bring my focus there. I should be able to understand what the return is there. And then operate is basically if there is something like button or anything or edit field, I should be able to operate it. I should be able to press on that button. I should be able to enter in the edit field using the assistive technology which I'm using. Understandable is like the content is structured in a way that I can understand. They're coming in the meaningful order. It's not like randomly placed. Sometimes what happens is we insert the promotional offers in between the content and break the continuity of the content. Sometimes it is fine to insert the offers, but at least make sure that that is after a section, not in between a section. Okay. So, and the robust talks about it should be like with the advancement of technology, it should be reliable. It shouldn't break. So this is what all I wanted to cover in the presentation, so that you all have the understanding of the basics of digital accessibility. And so yeah, now we are open to questions, and Julia, we can discuss about the other things.
That was amazing, Akash. That was really great. I'm so impressed with what you're doing. And I realize, I struggle as a, fully visually able person with all sorts of websites and get incredibly frustrated. So hearing what other people go through makes me realize how lucky I really am. But it was extremely enlightening to hear what you had to say about all of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julia. And when I said when you change the question from disability to difficulty, then even the population goes from 15% to 60%.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. I mean, I always describe myself sometimes in digital hell or in password hell. When digital things work, they're fantastic, and when they don't work, it sort of plunges you into the depths of despair. And the way that you're approaching this so logically is fantastic. It really, really is. So, can you share something about your personal journey yourself? And if you don't mind me being too personal, how you were diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa and, how it impacted your life and what led you to do what you're doing now?
Okay. Sure. So I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa in 2003. It's a genetic disorder as per the doctors. Okay. Though we cannot find anyone in our ancestors who had this disability, basically this disease. But as per doctors, it is well recognized that it's a genetic. It may be repeating after 7 generation or maybe something like that. So in 2003, I was just 10-year-old, and at the time I started facing the problems in the night. So how it starts, the problem is first you start facing the problems in the night. You will not be able to see clearly in the night, and then you start facing problems in your peripheral vision. Like if I'm seeing straight at you, I will be able to see your face, but if someone passes by in our surrounding, then I may not be able to realize, okay, there was a person who just crossed us.
Yes.
And and maybe that person was waving towards me, and I may not have noticed it. Then that person may feel like he's not reacting on my wave. Why he's doing like that? Okay,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
okay. So that kind of challenges I started facing, and then slowly, even my center vision got deteriorated, and I started facing problem in even my reading. First started I started using the dark mode, which is basically the black background with a white color text. I was able to see for around 3-4 years for that in that particular mode.
Right.
And in around 2-3 years back, I even lost that vision. And now I completely rely on this software called Screen Reader, which read out things for me. That's how I access the digital content.
So tell me more about what made you absolutely decide, what was actually your journey when you were at school? How was this coped with? Then you went to study and you obviously did very well in your studies. Tell me about all of that.
Sure. So in school life, there was no big issues, to be honest, until I would say 2016, when I was doing my master's. I was about to complete my master's. Though I used to have the problems in my peripheral vision, but that was fine. Once someone knows that I have the eye issues, then they don't mind. They just call by my name or something. But I was not having much issues in my reading or anything like that. Maybe I have some problems, like if I want to go for my classes in the night, or maybe one challenge even during that time I used to face is in developing countries, it's very common that we can find the dogs on the street. Okay, and when I used to walk on the street, then what used to happen is I may not realize the dog is sitting on the street, and I may end up putting my feet on the dog. Okay.
Oh,
And
yes.
it was like, uh, and the dog started barking me, and I'm like, how should I do that? And see, I don't know when I put my foot on that because I didn't see the dog is sitting on the street.
I hope they
And so
didn't
I need
bite
to be,
you, Akash.
Yeah. Uh, Luckily, it never happened. That dog bite me. But yeah, it many times happened that I striked with the dog while the dog was sitting on the street. That was the one problem which I used to face. Even when I used to travel, I always used to take care that wherever I'm going, I'm avoiding the night time. I just try to make sure that I'm reaching there in the daytime so that I can reach my destination well. I shouldn't face any problem. So
Yeah.
those kind of night issues and the dog kind of the issues with the dog, those are the journey which I remember. But when I was doing my started like using the screen reader, it was around 2021. Then I started facing a lot of issues with the digital world. Uh, Before that, I was like, and even one more thing, which started when I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. Doctors recommended me that you should avoid the screen time because screen time is gonna increase the deterioration rate for you.
Yeah.
If you can sustain your eyesight for 10 years, then maybe if you spend too much time on the screen, it may reduce to 1 year or 2 year, depending on how much exposure you are giving to the screen.
Yes.
That lead to me a little bit exclusion from the information which I can get from the internet at the time. And also like I need to sometime I need to choose my careers based on, okay, I need to choose an option in which I have less exposure to the screen. Okay.
Right.
Even though I was very much interested in coding, but I didn't opt the computer science during my bachelor's. That was the main reason why I didn't opt it during my bachelor's. But as you said, like destiny, you cannot get away from the destiny. So during my PhD, I ended up in my computer science itself. At that time, I started using the screen reader. By the time I realized, okay, the computer science is one of the most accessible uh, discipline for me because this is most accessible with screen reader and everything. So I shouldn't be afraid from going into the computer science, and I should learn about the screen reader and started. That's how I entered into the computer science PhD. Yeah. Then when it comes to the like facing the problems now, when I because until 2021 I used to use a lot of apps in my mobile, and I
Right.
used to serve a lot of websites. Even I need to do a lot of things for my family. But when I started facing the problem in 2021, then I started facing problem with each and every website, each and every app. Now, if I
Right.
have to book a cab, if I have to book ticket, if I have to get just some information, or if I have to just order food for me, like there are no proper apps or website which I can use.
And so tell me more about the exact product that you've launched.
Yeah, so what we are doing is we are helping corporates and universities in making their digital products or like content or anything, basically overall digital infrastructure accessible. So the first product which we launch is around helping universities in making the study material accessible. Even generally, there was tools which can get you the normal text out of an image. Like if there is a image-based PDF, many of the times we encounter these image-based PDFs. So they can just get you the text out of those images, but they will not be able to preserve the different semantic in that. When I say semantic, like the table structure,
Right. And
whether the
yeah,
other
explain what
information
it
like heading.
means. In other words, explain what this chart is depicting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
depicting. Similarly, like equations, like if there is a equation, then what may happen is that get converted into normal text and even get distorted. Like if there is a fraction like 2/3, what may happen is in one line you get 2, and in the next line you get 3, and you may not get the information that it is basically 2/3. Okay,
Hmm.
so that kind of information all you lost in the OCR, general OCR. So what we did is we come up with a tool on document accessibility through which anyone can upload any document in the PDF or image format, and it convert that into a format like the Word and HTML, but make sure it's a proper semantic stack and preserve all the different semantic like heading, table, list, equations, and all. Even it can process multilingual and support multiple languages, multi-column and support multiple languages. So it take care of all those things. And so now anyone who is facing problem in reading the documents can convert into accessible format and read it. Then we started working with corporates. Now corporates, because first is they don't know how persons with disability access the digital world. That's why they never think of making the products, app or website usable by persons with disability. And so what we do is we do the accessibility audit, in which we highlight, okay, these are the issues in your existing platforms. And then we also give them the how you should prioritize these issues, which are more critical, which are less critical, and also provide the code level recommendations. Okay. Now, if your developer has to fix, how the developer can fix this issue? What is the efficient and effective way to fix it? Because if I just say this is an issue, but if I don't tell you how you can fix it, what is the right way to fix it, you may end up fixing it in a wrong way. Again, you end up creating some more issues. Okay. So we provide the code level recommendation. And the third bit which we do is accessibility training. uh, what happens is, what the accessibility should not be considered as an afterthought. Okay. If you're considering accessibility as an afterthought, then what you're going to do is, first you're going to develop the product, and then later on you're going to work on accessibility. The product is already live, it's in the market, people are facing the problem. Now you're working on fixing the accessibility. While you're fixing the accessibility, the next version of the app is already ready, and that is making getting live. And the work which you have done on accessibility has no importance now. Okay. And it is also getting expensive when you do it as an afterthought. But if you adopt the practices, like one example which I give generally give here is, let's there is a MS Word document in which there is a text which you want to mark as a heading. The one common way which most of us do is we make that particular text bold, maybe increase the font size, maybe center align it, or maybe underline it. Okay. But another way is, if you open the MS Word and see there is a tab called styles. In that style, you can choose what kind of a style you want to give to text. Okay. You can give heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, whatever heading level you want to give. Is a normal text. You can give all of those styles. Okay. And it will automatically do all of that for you. You don't need to do it manually, like making it bold, increasing the font size. You can just keep your settings that if I'm marking as a heading 1, then this is the property which I want for my text. Okay. Now, because you have given that particular style, even the document know this is a heading 1. That information will be passed to me when I'm reading with the screen reader. So I know this is a main head.
So basically, we should be looking at all innovation going forward. We should be thinking about how this works for not just people with vision issues, but I mean, this would also helps people with other kinds of issues, doesn't it? For example, dyslexia, who may well be listening to audio rather than reading. So it actually it's much wider than simply people with visual issues. Yeah.
Right. Or not, just don't think this is going to be useful for other disability. Like it's going to be useful for you as well. Sometimes you may have situational disability. Okay. Sometimes when you go older, you may start facing these issues. Like you have like blur vision, you need large font size. Okay. So many of these things, like one example which I generally gave to explain this is dark mode. Okay. Dark mode was initially an accessibility requirement to make the platform usable by a person with low vision. Now, many of you may be using it. When you surf through the app or the website in the night time, you generally turn on the night mode or the dark mode. What that does is it changes the background to black and make the text white so
Yes.
that it has less impact on your eyes during the night time.
Yes.
Okay. So it's useful for everyone. There are many examples which I can point out like this.
Yes. Absolutely. No, and also for people with attention deficit, or just busy, it's far easier to listen to things sometimes than to read them.
Right.
Yes, yes. So that
Yeah, another
incorporating all of
example
this design is going to improve everything, actually. Yeah.
right. And even another example is now everyone is moving towards the audiobook. Audiobook was initially introduced to make the books readable by a person with blindness. Now many of us use audiobook.
Oh, I'm an
Like
addict.
when
I'm a
we are
complete
trying,
addict. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So it's don't never think of accessibility as just the things you are doing for a person with disability. It is gonna help you also at some point of time.
Totally, totally. So, how can you get everybody to be much more aware of this, Akash? I mean, what is your vision? What's your mission?
I think the only way is spread awareness. Everyone should start talking about it. As like we are doing this webinar, we need to do more and more such sessions. We need to do more and more like gathering and talking about accessibility and sensitizing people. So that, and even one more thing, which many of the times comes into discussion is many of the people nowadays we know a person with locomotor disability because when they go out on the wheelchair we realize okay these person with wheelchair users exist, but when you are seeing me can you realize like by just if you don't know me personally and you haven't heard my introduction, then do you know can you just by seeing me can you realize that I am a blind person with blindness?
No.
No. Okay. So that happens. Like even when I'm moving in the surrounding, you will not realize that there may be a person with disability in your surrounding. And these kind of disability can be grouped under invisible disability. Okay. It may be disability due to your nervous system. It may be person with hearing impairment. If a person with hearing impairment is just passing by you, will you realize that that person has a person with hearing impairment if the person never interacted with you? So these kind of disabilities are invisible disabilities, which we never realize, and many of times we think that person with disability does not exist. But we need to talk about all of these things. We need to be a little more sensitive about sensitized and be aware about these things.
Yes, yes. But one thing I think is so interesting about what you're doing and the approach is that in many ways, the digital online world is really a world that's been created and built at the moment, isn't it? It's not like the physical world where we might have to go back and retrofit things and so on. And obviously we have new buildings which don't need to be retrofitted and can be much more accessible and easy to for people of all kinds of abilities to be able to use. But in the world that we're talking about, a lot of it is being created as we speak. So there's absolutely no reason why this cannot be incorporated from the get-go. And I think what's so exciting about what you're saying is that we don't need to think, oh, this is going to help the 600 million people with disabilities, like you say. This is actually going to be enhancing for everybody, isn't it? And it can be at the cutting edge of innovation. And I just think that's such an exciting thing to be looking at and talking about. Because presumably you must have thought about it quite a lot, Akash. What about AI and how this would intersect with what you're thinking about?
Yeah, AI will definitely change the game. AI has started changing the game even. There are a lot of tools which people are trying to develop, which can help you in better identification of issues and even doing automatic fixing. Even one example which we are started now seeing is the image description. Let's say I got an image on my WhatsApp or on my email, and I want to understand what is in that image is. Nowadays, a lot of people are working on the different kind of AI-based tools, which can help you understand what is in that image is. Okay, so AI is definitely going to play, but you should never think that it will be automatically fixed by AI. Uh, uh, the technology will take long time to get to that level. Even today, there is no AI-based technology which exists, which can even convert a full, like a well-structured document like we find in the research paper or the academia. Those kind of documents are not can be well understood by AI right now. It
Yes.
cannot be like everything can be extracted and well converted into format which can be understood by a person with disability. If you think of that now, thinking about a website which has a lot of random sections and like a lot of different UI and elements and everything. Now, getting to AI to that level where it can understand everything, it is going to take long time. Uh, so you should think of accessibility building in your product. And another byproduct, which I would say is it's also improves your search engine efficiency. Okay, it's also
Right.
improve your search engine optimization because now search engine can better understand the content on your website. Even it can understand the images because you have provided the alternative text to those images. So it can also even understand the content which you're showing in the images. So it will even help you in improving your search engine optimization.
It's interesting. You're absolutely right about the current limitations of AI because if I search on my phone and my photographs for, I wanted a
Mhm.
picture of a bear, and
Mhm.
it came up, one of the pictures it came up with, some were bears, but one was of my cat. It obviously thought that
Mhm.
the cat looked like a bear, right? Which
Yeah.
is quite funny because this cat does look a bit like a bear, but yeah.
Right.
You know, there's some very basic limitations even now, I think, aren't there? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, how do you think awareness of this in India is at the moment? Is that what you're focusing on?
So I would say, yeah, we are primarily focusing on India. We just started around 10 months back. We registered company in July 2023 and started our operation from August 2023. So we are primarily started with India, but we want to go global. And I think this is one such webinar which is helping us in spreading the awareness in the global scenario. But yeah, so in India, it's a very initial stage, I would say, not advanced like what you can see in North America and the European countries, where people are talking about accessibility for a very long time. In India, the law on the rights of persons with disability was, which mandates the digital accessibility for each and every corporate, was passed in 2017. So yeah, we are in an early initial stages. Getting even many companies are now showing interest in making their digital offerings accessible. So I would say it's an early stage in India, and yeah, and we are doing is focusing mostly on India.
That's great. So, tell me more about the web content accessibility guidelines. You know, what exactly do they say, and you know, do you think they're enough? Do they have areas of deficiency that you think they have?
I would say they are very comprehensive, but though it's not to the level where it covers each and every scenario. Like one is the limitation, which I would like to say is web content accessibility guidelines was developed when mobile app does not exist. Okay.
Right,
It was developed somewhere around 2000 first time, and they did some amendments, but still it doesn't well cater to the mobile applications. Okay.
right.
And it gives you general principles, but don't talk about the each and every specific scenario. Okay. Now, if you have like an edit box, what it says, okay, you should make sure that it read out the label. You should read out. It should clearly say it's an edit box, but in what order it should say? Like, should it say label first, then it should say the edit box, or if there is a placeholder text as well. Like in the example which I showed, there was a label called username. Then there was the edit box. Okay, and in the edit box, let I have a placeholder text. Enter your name.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what should in which order this all information should be read out? Should it read out a username, enter your name, edit box, or should it say username, edit box, double tap to enter your name? Okay, which one is more user friendly, which one is more something which you should be doing it, what are the correct way of implementing it, that all is not well covered in WCAG guidelines. Even talking about many different scenarios which we generally encounter in app as well. So yeah, I would say it's cover very well, but not go very specific to any example or doesn't cater to the mobile application side.
Right. I guess that's true of many guidelines, though, isn't it? That they would normally deal more in principles, and to some extent that might be preferable because this area is evolving quite rapidly. So if you
Right.
came up with too much which was very specific, it would be out of date very quickly. Maybe you need to develop
Yeah.
codes off the back of it.
Yeah.
And then you make it clear which protocol you're following, because maybe different countries, for example, might prefer different protocols or orders for some reason. But your view would be that there should be a sort of international standards of this, maybe across the English language speaking world, right?
Yeah, I would say there is a need of building a consortium of the technology company and the accessibility organizations where they can work together and specify, okay, this is how that should be read out. This is a more effective way. These are the standard ways, like many of the things which are even limited in the assistive technologies. Okay,
Yeah.
even though many of the times when you need to make it accessible, you need to adapt the technology, like the coding to a level that it can even deal with the different technology. One thing which I would like to say is like, it even depends on the coding language which I'm using. Okay, whether I'm using developing in React, whether I'm developing in Flutter, it also depends on like that. The one example which I would like to highlight here is with some coding language, when I'm selecting a radio button, it says selected. Okay, in another coding language, by default, it will say ticked.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And now, if you want to come up with a standardization, okay, so or even it just depends on the which assistive technology I'm using. Whether I'm using an Android-based screen reader, I'm using a iOS-based screen reader, or I'm using a Windows-based screen reader. These behavior change. Okay. Uh, so that's why my personal opinion is that there should be international consortium which where all these different assistive technology companies are there, the large IT companies are there, that the organizations which are working in the accessibility domain or disability organizations are there, so that they can come up with the standards. This is what technology going to follow, so that there is a standard which is getting followed.
So up to now, have you just worked in India with Saral X? Have you done any work with anybody outside of India?
Not really, not really. We till now we were focusing on India market.
Well, India's huge, Akash. So
Yeah.
it should be enough.
Right. But it doesn't mean that we don't want to go global. It just because we started 10 months back. So that's why we were focusing on Indian market. Uh, Indian market is growing market in this domain. The awareness is not that to that level. That's why we even try to focus on India market, getting some initial traction, validation, and everything done in India, and then going to the global market.
Absolutely. So where did your funding come from when you set up Saral X? Where did your funding come from to set up Saral X?
Funding, we had some grants. So there was a grant which we got from the Youth Collab, which is an initiative of UNDP and the City Foundation. And another one, recently we won an award it was a national level competition organized by a subsidiary of the Central Bank of India, which is called Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, in partnership with one of the leading bank in India, which is called HDFC Bank, and a non-profit working in the disability domain called Assistec Foundation. So they all three organized a national level competition towards the enhancing the financial inclusion of persons with disability. So we got selected for that. So yeah, so a couple of these grants, a couple of awards we have received, and now we are trying to raise more money because we need to foster our technological innovation. Yeah, but till now we are surviving on these grants, awards, and the revenue which we have gotten.
Right. And are you looking for money from the private sector, or what sort of funding are you looking for?
Right now, we are open to both, like the private sector, the government, and anyone, even the grants. Because yeah, so I would say like we are open to all sort of funds.
So what's the longer term plan for Saralex? What will you be doing with this money, and where do you see yourself and Saralex in, say, in 5 years' time?
So one is right now, in like if you understand from our offerings, right now it's more aligned with the services. Like we are providing different kind of services.
Yes.
Ultimately, we want to move to the product direction because product can be scaled fast and can be have more impact. So what we want to come up with an automated solution which can identify each and every bugs, even help developers in pointing out whenever they are just coding. Can the tool automatically point out, hey, you are can give the warning, okay, hey, you are missing out this accessibility issue here. Please fix this before committing the code. Okay. Similarly, like Google Analytics give you different kind of analytics. You can know from which country the people are accessing your website, um, get the different demographics. But Google Analytics does not provide you analytics around was there any person with disability who is trying to access your content. Okay,
Yes.
and where exactly he dropped, where was exactly he facing the problem. Okay, so coming up with such kind of innovative solutions so that organizations know very well. Okay, these are many people who are trying to access and facing the problems, and coming up with. We are also working on the L&D modules, like the MOOC courses on digital accessibility, so that anyone can understand the different angles of digital accessibility and learn about the best practices. If they need to develop any content or mobile application or website, what are the best practices they should be adopting when they're doing any development. So yeah, so more into going into the more product side, less into, we don't want to be in the long run, we don't want to be in the service.
Right. And are there universities in India receptive to this? Do you think, are they supportive, like IIT, your alma mater?
Yeah, many organizations. So like we are currently working with Ashoka University, Ajim Premji University. Those are not IITs, but they are many new universities. Both of them are new universities, and they are open to making sure that they are inclusive towards persons with disabilities. Even many IITs are focusing now. They have office of like disability, dedicated office for persons with disability, who takes care of different needs. Yeah, so I would say yeah.
That's brilliant. That's great. So, what do you think is the big message that you would like people to take away from this wonderful sharing that we've had from you today? Where I certainly have learnt so much, Akash. What do you think people should be thinking about?
So one quote which I generally say from which is from the United Nations, which says that spending on systems and facilities for persons with disability is not an expense for minority. It's actually an investment for everyone. Okay. So don't think it is just an investment for minority. So so that is the quote which I generally want to highlight. So never think it is just whatever you're gonna do for the digital accessibility is just gonna help person with disability. It's gonna help everyone. Another example, similar to the dark mode, which I generally give, is the electric toothbrush that was initially developed for person who face problems in their hand movement and cannot move hand at the different angles so that they can brush their teeth. But now many of us may be using the electric toothbrush,
This is
and
true.
it is getting mainstream. Okay,
Yes, yes, yes.
so
Right.
don't think what you're developing for person with disability is just for person with disability.
No, it will bring innovation all around for everybody, for everyone's
Right.
benefit.
Right.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much, Akash. So we're almost at an hour and we've been talking, which has gone extremely quickly. So I'll thank you, and I'll also just say a few words to everybody who's joined. So thanks everybody for being with us. And as we've heard, as we know as well, the Commonwealth has a rich diversity, and with its shared values, we're just delighted to hear about Akash's wonderful journey with SaralX. It's very inspiring. It serves as a testament to the power of perseverance and commitment to creating a more equitable digital realm. And Akash's journey from overcoming personal challenges to pioneering this innovative solution underscores the great impact that inclusive design can have on fostering a society that celebrates diversity. So as we move forward, I think it's crucial to recognize that accessibility is not just a box to be ticked, but it's going to be a continuous journey that requires dedication and innovation. So in the physical world, we have wheelchair ramps and braille signage. And then in the digital world, we have text-to-speech software and all kinds of other digital innovations. So the world is seeing many remarkable advancements in assistive technologies, and I'm sure that this will help everybody, not just people with disabilities, as Akash has emphasized. So let's hope that we all manage to have a more accessible digital future. And I really hope that SARL X will go from strength to strength. And I do hope that we can hear from perhaps Akash and SARL X again in a year's time or so as to where they've got to over the next few months. So thank you so much again, Akash, for this wonderful talk and your sharing. And we do look forward to hearing about the future developments. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. And thank you, everybody. Have a great day and goodbye. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Julia, for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Akash. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.